Hey folks, thanks for tuning in. What I'm doing right now, we're going to work on these little stems. 3 pieces of wood bent together. They're going on this little canoe form. Right here to fit in that channel. Right there in a canoe form. So you can see they're kind of big. Kind of they're too wide, so we're going to sand them down. And on the front, this thing, you'll see pencil lines on there. I'm going to cut that back at an angle so it runs into the along the canoe like that on both sides, and then that'll get it to fit right in there. I'll hang off about this much and do that. Then we got to cut notches in it at the same time. Let me put this over here and get a little bird's eye view. fit right in that channel. Now when you run planking on this canoe, see the reason, let's get this right down here. The reason I had to cut the front of this stem at an angle, because when you put it in there, it's planking, it's canoe planking. When it goes on, we're gonna bend ribs on this canoe over these metal bands. When we put this planking on, it comes right out to the exact angle that we want, right there. If this was square, there'd be a space in the front of it right here. That ain't what we want. We want everything to run symmetrically as we can. That's why we do it like that. Now these are a little long, so we're going to be cut. Going to be cut off a little bit. That'll be perfect. About the same thing. Okay, now we got the two stems cut in there, like so. This is a little different than my normal canoe. My normal canoes, the ribs are a little wider. This is probably about a ½ inch wide. I have to mark these. Make little X's. All that wood has to come out down to that line. 'Cause that's where the ribs are gonna sit in there. So this, I marked it again. Those little X's, that wood will come right out. And put it back in the canoe. The ribs run across the stems like this. That's why we notch out these little notches where each rib goes, so it fits down against the canoe form. We just notch these out on the table saw. Put it over here, notch these right out on the table saw. Better view of that. Bird's eye view. notched out. Gotta have the aptitude for woodworking. Up a little bit, like so. Perfect. This thing has some sharp corners on it. I'll knock them off. Whoops. Nice. let's pretend this is a rib. They're basically this size anyway. This will fit right down in there. There you have it. That's what I'm talking about, all them little ribs. I mean, all the ribs will go in these little channels cutting this stem. And we'll just bend them around, the whole canoe. And after we do that, we take some thin planking. This shit is paper thin. It's pretty thin, flexible. White cedar from northern Maine. It'll run over those ribs just like this. Get tacked on here with little baby brass tacks. And it'll run right out on that stem. We'll tack it on the stem on the side right there. Be doing that on the next day. Today, I got these done. And now I got other stuff I have to take care of. I just tape them on. Once you go through one of the notches with a rib, it'll hold the whole stem down. So I just tape them on with a little blue tape. And this part you're looking at, if you're familiar with a canoe at all, that part is way up in there. You see it up in there. That's the part I'm working on right now. Because there's little notches underneath this thing. The little notches where these ribs go, there's a little notch, and that's what I just did. Over there, it's kind of hard to understand unless you know the buildings and how a canoe goes together. You would never know. That's what that looks like. Build a canoe upside down. If I was to take this canoe form and flip it over, you would see the profile of the canoe, what it would look like. If you think about it, flip it over, it's going to be like the canoe. So this is the bottom of the canoe right here. So really, in theory, you build a canoe upside down. I've been working on these over here. I'm going to clear coat this one inside and out. This one here looks pretty good on the inside. I'll clear coat the outside of this one. Make it shiny. Canoe light. This is all ready. I'll probably coat it some more with some clear coat. I like shiny stuff. Looks good shiny. Solid brass, that little stem band right there. Solid brass. 6-inch LED lights in here. And that's a model. I'm going to canvas this model. And here's going to get canvassed and painted so it looks like this blue. This little blue guy. See how dark that cherry got? If you leave this cherry wood outside in the sunlight, it'll darken up just like this in a couple weeks. Compared to this hasn't been in the sunlight. That's cherry too. You can see the difference. It's crazy. Crazy nuts difference on that. This blue one, I might paint it green. I'm just kind of leaving it for now. Order will come in. Somebody will want it green. As soon as I clear coat that blue, somebody will call me and they'll want it green. So I'm just going to leave it blue. Happens every time. So yeah. There's this canoe up here I built. It's been hanging for a while. No interest in it. I kinda like it. Has bear cloth over it. Little bears on it. Make one hell of a display in your camp or a cottage. I'll tell you that. I have a lot of them out there. I've got thousands of these canoes out in the world. Thousands. I have so many I lost track. Canoe light. There we go. Kind of blurry. And these are 6 feet long by 18 to 20 inches wide in the center of the canoe. And you have your little LED 6-inch lights up in there. If you put them on a dimmer, you dim that down. Ever so nice. Okay guys, tomorrow when I get back on here, I've been working on my camper van. I'm sorry about that. Can't get it out of my head. I got 2 stems in there. I mean 2 gunnels, all cut. I'm gonna soak them in the swimming pool tonight. Take them out tomorrow. Gonna bend them on this form. This is a good bend from here down to here. That thing's wicked. That's wicked. Good bend. But yeah, Ralph's Canoe Factory. I've been working on this thing. I shouldn't put stuff on like this because I don't usually do it. It's kind of like personal life stuff. I'm working on this van. I got it all painted up underneath. It's an oldie but goodie, I call it. It's got an awning that comes out on it. I've been fixing it up inside. It's all painted up. Put a new floor on it. Put a new sink in it. Oh, sink's old. I put a new faucet. Cooktop. Kind of dark in here. Turn these little lights on so we can see what's going on. It's small. It's a little cooler. Cigarette lighter cooler. A little TV. Over there. There's the front of it. Little fan. Put a new fridge in. I've been on this thing for 3 months. Ridiculous. Put a new. I painted it. Painted this fan too. I like the paint stuff. Painted all these cabinets. Bathroom, the shower. build some of these canoes. I'm gonna hit the country fair. That's my plan. Take 4 or 5 of these canoes and drive to some country fair and sell them. If like somebody tells me where to go, where there's a big country fair, I don't care where it is. I will drive there in this van. I'll be out there selling my canoes. Oh yeah, there you go. It's a load of cedar from northern Maine up there. Oh, Louis Pelletier up in the Allegheny. He cut some wicked good cedar up there. Alright guys, if you want one of these canoes, give me a jingle. We'll figure it out. There it is right there. The one and only. The Bear Canoe Company. Thanks for watching. Tomorrow we're going to start cutting ribs for this little canoe. And snapping on the rails. And we'll go from there. I appreciate y'all watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I appreciate it. Y'all have a great weekend. That's right, it's Friday. Have a great weekend. Take care, guys. I'll see you.